The Triton Horizon, a cathedral of steel and ambition, held its position above a secret 7 years in the making. Its dynamic positioning system fought the ocean's push, keeping it locked over coordinates worth $14 million.
Their target lay 12,000 feet below, a legend whispered among historians and treasure hunters.
The hatch sealed with a sound of finality. They were now a bubble of life entering a hostile world. The crane lowered them past the waterline, and the ocean closed overhead like a fist. Descent. They sank under calculated negative buoyancy into a realm of absolute pressure. By 1,000 feet, color became a memory. Only the submersible's lights pushed back the void.
The sonar painted the bottom topography, a landscape forming from the fog of the deep.
The hull contracted minutely, creaking. Every weld stood between them, and instant annihilation.
They passed through galaxies of bioluminescence, life adapted to eternal pressure and darkness.
"8,000 feet down, they found the first wreckage. A boiler from the Empress, now a garden for the deep. The debris field spread beneath them. A shattered ocean liner, scattered across acres of abyssal plain. 12,000 feet. They settled on the bottom, a place untouched by sunlight for millennia.
They had 4.
The search began. They crawled across a desert of sediment at walking speed, lights probing the endless night.
We have a massive magnetic anomaly. Readings are spiking uncontrollably. What is that?
The magnetometer shouted. Ahead lay a mound, a shape that spoke of something buried, something heavy. The manipulators began to dig. 83 years of accumulated sediment bloomed into the water like a dark storm. The pilot felt the work through electronic hands, scraping away history one careful scoop at a time. On sonar, the truth emerged. Rectangular shapes, stacked, denser than any steel. And there it was, gold, the patient, incorruptible metal, waiting 8 decades for this moment. Now came the meticulous work, securing each 27-pound bar into the recovery frame. The final bar was nested, 412 pieces of history, ready for their journey home.
She sent the signal, a sound pulse that raced upward through 2 miles of water to the waiting ship.
We have the signal.
Lower the primary line. Watch the tension on the cable.
The main cable descended, a thread from heaven, connecting the abyss to the world of air and light. The frame rose, trailing mud like a ghost. The gold was leaving the deep.
They rose through the eternal night, leaving the wreck and its secret behind them.
Finally, a concept returned. Blue. The light of the surface, filtered through miles of ocean.
On deck, the prize was home, not as gleaming treasure, but as ancient mud and stone.
Time and pressure had fused sediment into a concrete shell, obscuring the fortune within.
The revelation started with water. High-pressure jets carving away the deep sea's clinging claim.
The deck became a river of ancient earth, washed clean by modern hands. Chemical baths followed, neutralizing 8 years of sea chemistry. Gold does not corrode, it simply waits. The work stretched into night, a meticulous archaeology under artificial suns.
In the quiet, the weight of the depth returned to her, a cold that seeped into the bones.
The last bar was cleaned. The transformation was complete, from abyssal secret to historical fact.
As dawn approached, the harsh lights were killed. The gold met its first true sunrise in 83 years.
The team leader joined them, completing the circle around their recovered fortune. They had descended to a realm that forbade life, and returned with a prize that defied time. The Triton horizon held its position, a speck of human endeavor on the indifferent ocean. The moment passed. The gold was still cargo, needing to be logged, secured, and shipped.
With the mission complete, the ship was released from its pinpoint vigil over the deep. The deck was cleared. The sea kept its silence, holding 10,000 other secrets in the dark.
Triumph at sea is a quiet thing. It lives in the shared fatigue, the unspoken respect.
Every bar was documented. Each serial number a story interrupted in 1942, now given an epilogue.
The submersible, their trusted shell, was cleansed of the deep's residue, prepared for the next unknown.
The message sent was brief. Its meaning, the culmination of years of patience and calculation.
The body remembered the pressure, the constant, tiny corrections needed to survive the abyss.
The shared meal after a mission was the true ceremony. The noise of life reaffirmed. Beneath their feet, the ship's machinery hummed its constant song, the enabling force of their endeavor.
The gold left the ship as it had arrived, by air, a transaction finally completed 8 decades late.
The voyage home. The Atlantic rolled beneath them, indifferent to the treasure it had surrendered.
The Cathedral of Steel returned to its pier, mission accomplished, its story written in sea spray and success.
The first steps on land were always uncertain. The world refused to roll and pitch beneath them.
She left a part of herself aboard, in the sphere that had kept her alive, and in the depths it had shown her. The deep silence was absolute. The world's silence was never empty, just waiting to be filled.
The transition was always abrupt, from the abyssal plane to the security line in 48 hours.
From this height, the ocean was a placid lid. She knew the furious, beautiful truth beneath.
The coordinates were no longer a target. They were a memory, a pin in the map of her life.
In the quiet mornings, the pressure differential would haunt her. The feeling of being inside a shell, holding back the world.
The world heard a simplified version, a tale of treasure. They knew the truth was weight, darkness, and pressure.
She sought out stillness, but of a different kind. One that didn't threaten to crush, only to calm.
Life resumed, but the deep-sea salvage operative is never truly off the clock. The ocean calls in dreams and dates.
She translated the experience into data, into risk assessments and cost projections. The poetry of the abyss was lost in translation. The cycle began anew. New ships, new targets, new calculations over different patches of dark water. They shared a language of currents and coordinates, of patience and pressure tolerances.
The weight of fortune was not in the gold, but in the return to the depths.
The true treasure was the seeking itself. The new coordinates pointed to a trench, not a flat plain, but a jagged scar in the Earth's crust.
Neptune 9 was next generation, faster, more agile, equipped for complex terrain.
Memory served as both foundation and ghost. Every past dive informed the next.
This was not treasure, but retrieval. A vessel of historical importance, lost during a Cold War survey.
The protocols were universal. The dance of checks and rechecks, a liturgy against the deep's indifference.
The sounds were the same. The hollow clang of the hatch, the hum of life support, the beating heart of the mission.
Each descent was a birth, a leaving of one world for another, with no guarantee of return.
Approaching 2,000 feet now. Stabilizing here.
The numbers rolled, a countdown into the past. They were chasing a ghost from the 60s.
This was not the abyssal desert. This was a canyon, dark and sheer, a place of landslides and currents. The sonar found it, a cluster of metallic returns, compact, at the foot of a sheer wall. There, the Proteus. Time and pressure had compacted it, made it a part of the geology it came to study.
The data recorder, it would be in the nose section.
The retrieval was an act of archaeology, not for wealth, but for knowledge long thought erased.
They handled it with more care than the gold. It was fragile. It was memory.
A different kind of weight. The weight of answers for families, for science, for history. The deep played tricks. It showed you what you needed to see, and what you feared to see.
Ascent. They carried a different treasure upward, from darkness toward light and understanding.
On deck, the atmosphere was academic, not commercial. The thrill was one of discovery, not valuation.
Her hands had recovered fortune and recovered history. One was heavy, the other was light.
In a clean lab, the past began to whisper. Decoding would take months, but the potential was now alive.
She was the deliverer, not the decoder. Her domain was the journey down and the journey back.
Another pin would be placed on the map. Another secret would be coaxed from the dark.
The logbook held the coordinates of where she had been. The blank pages held the coordinates of where she would go.
The handover was quiet, attended by those who understood the weight of a 60-year mystery solved.
The gratitude was genuine, but it belonged to the surface world. Her thoughts were already subsurface.
I just wanted to thank you again for the support.
It was my pleasure.
The calls were already coming. Not for treasure, not for history, for something else. A geological anomaly.
The next target, our next target required a different kind of ship, a different kind of coal. The deep
This was pure science, a chance to see a world never before witnessed by human eyes.
The launch pad was a man-made hole in a frozen desert, a portal straight down. No margin for error. A scrape against the ice could compromise the hull. The descent was a controlled fall. They dropped away from the ice ceiling into water at 28 degrees Fahrenheit. The cold was a living presence. Life here was slow, patient, burning chemical energy in the eternal cold and dark. The sensors shouted before their eyes could see. A spike in temperature. A garden in the freezer.
Passing on the craft was its own mission. How to listen to the deep through steel and silicone.
She spoke not of treasure, but of thresholds, the lines humans cross, and the price of the crossing.
You can drinking can say that word I didn't go previous.
The transcription is already provided in the USR score promptate. Weren't you ever afraid? And fear is a system check.
Some journeys were personal. This one was to a coast with no port, no target. Just a request. The call had been from a village elder. A story of something seen in shallow water, not deep. A curiosity.
He spoke of a rock that shines when the sun is right. Something that didn't belong.
After the crushing, lightless deep, this felt like flying. A baptism in light and warmth.
It was space age, not sea age. A piece of a satellite or capsule fallen from the sky into the sea.
The circle felt complete. From the deep sea to the edge of space, all fragments eventually fell to the ocean.
Her role here was not engineer or leader, but listener and solver. A bringer of clarity, not cargo.
The ocean was a mirror. It showed you the sky, and it showed you the depths, and in between. The weight of fortune was the weight of witness, and she had borne it from the abyss to the stars.